QED Investors is a global fintech investor. We've been around for coming up to 18 years now. We're primarily based out of Virginia, out of this area in the US, with offices around the world. We've made about 250 investments over the last 18 years. We have about 170 active companies. We have 29 unicorns within our portfolio, all of that in fintech. We're investing out of a roughly $950 million, what we call Fund 8, which is made up of a $650 million early stage fund and a roughly $300 million growth stage fund. Assets under management is just under $4 billion. We sometimes invest in things that are maybe not necessarily primarily fintech, but some things that are called fintech enabled. There has to be a fintech angle to what we do. So we're specialist investors and we focus on fintech because that's what we know and that's what we do globally.
Since you've been working for 18 years now, have you exited any startups and what have been the most successful returns?
Absolutely. We have been privileged to have a number of successful exits. Actually, in 2021, we had 5 of our portfolio companies go public, on IPO on the stock exchange in New York. So we had Nubank, we had Remitly, we had Avid Exchange, we had Flywire, and then we had SoFi.
How much capital has QED allocated for investments in the MENA region?
We recently led our first deal in the region, I think with NIMCAD Series B, as you mentioned. We're actually not an investor that allocates capital. We invest globally and we benchmark our companies against each other. So we don't have a MENA pool or a Euro pool or Latin pool. But just to give you a background, roughly about 50% of our dollars is invested in the US, with the remaining 50% invested outside of the US, which includes Europe, Latin America, India, some of Southeast Asia, and now the MENA region, and of course Africa. I think from a geographic standpoint, we're very excited about the UAE, very excited about Saudi, and excited about Egypt. I think these sort of 3 markets are gateway markets into the region. You of course have a lot of other smaller markets that I think are also interesting. And from a vertical standpoint, we're excited about some of what we call the new frontiers of fintech, but also the old frontiers as well. So things like embedded finance, I think is very, very interesting across the region. Cross-border, I think, continues to be something that is very interesting. The region has some of the most interesting send corridors, particularly if you look at the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Wealth management is very, very interesting. If you look at the composition of the region, particularly in the UAE, with the mass affluent there. And of course, I think, payments and infrastructure continue to be very, very key to what we think is going to unlock a lot of value in the region.
And you have invested so far in 2 companies, right? FlapCap and another one recently. Can you tell us more about these 2 companies?
Absolutely. So, NIMCAD is the first investment we led in the region, which is our latest investment. We led the Series B, they're an embedded finance infrastructure company based out of the UAE, allowing companies, both banks and fintechs and other NBFIs, non-banking financial institutions, to be able to actually offer financial service products, everything from being able to offer cards, which is sort of their main product, being able to offer cards to SMEs, but also being able to offer sort of embedded lending. The second company, as you rightly mentioned, is a company called FlapCap, which was a bold stage. Bold is our early stage investment program. It was a bold stage investment in Egypt. They've now expanded to the UAE, and they're an SME lender. We also have another company that is not announced that hopefully will be completing soon. That also I think sits within sort of the payment space as well.
A third company in the region.
Yes, that we're working on, but we have not. We're not done yet.
Oh, okay. And how much approximately the investment in that company?
So, look, our investment ticket sizes ranges from, I would say for our Series A, B tickets ranges from about 5 million to about 20 million. I can't give you the exact figure, but somewhere within that bucket of $5 to $20 million leading the rounds of this.